I am going to talk about the autism. The autism is kind of brain disability that causes many range of problems in human. In 1950, it called as a psychological disorder, but more research exhibit that the autism is a neurological brain disorder. It affects some sections in the brain not to work correctly. The section such as emotions and learning and critical thinking. By age 2, if the child has not have good skill in communicating and language skills and authorities like speaking and writing, then the doctor would have diagnosed that the child has autism. Symptoms in autism could vary in one child rather than another. Uh, but some symptoms are common in autistic child, such as tending to be alone, number 2, having repetitive behavior, and sensitivity to loud sounds and textures, and incapability in imagining. For instance, the autistic child usually don't use I. For example, when he or she need help, he or she say, for example, Karim need water, Karim need food. Use her name, his name. The term autism spectrum mean that the range of incapabilities are different in any autistic person. For example, some autistic persons are math, some are not. Some speak very good, some don't speak very good. The autism usually is more in male rather than female, and approximately in ratio of 4 to 1. Science could not find cure for autism. They don't know what is cause of autism. More research show that gene and environmental factors may cause autism. Mm, Let me see. Cost of training autistic child are high and expensive, so government and NGOs should help their parents. At the end, I hope medical science can solve autism very soon. Thank you for your attention.
Yeah, it was your first time giving a lecture, and I really appreciate your efforts and the way you just presented it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Shall I know why you chose this topic?
My best friend's child has autism, and I like the lecture is about the autism.
I could guess so, that usually people who have seen autistic people want to just increase their knowledge about this issue. And okay, so criticism, please.
Okay, let me mention some correction, mispronunciation. The first one I think was disability, which you pronounce it disability, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. The second one was common, I think.
What did he say?
Am I right? Common, I think.
Common, yes.
Yeah. That's another word. And The last one is approximately.
Approximately, yes. All right, thank you for being so conscious. And
You're
Thank
welcome. You are very welcome.
And Sasan, what about you? What did you come up with?
I think Arash clarified all of the points, but I just have a question, simple question: that is it curable?
Yes.
This disease,
Karim, is it curable? Do we have any cure for that? He said that in the middle, that it is not that, it is somehow incurable.
I say cure.
Do we have
The
any
scientists
cure?
don't find any cure
Yeah.
for autism, but some medicines and cures exist. For example, medication and training, but medication has many side effects and don't use extensively.
Okay.
Thank you.
So some other Sasan, did you come up with any mispronunciation? Any other?
No, nothing else.
Okay. So some points that you said the doctor, it's doctor, and diagnose. I think you said something else. Autism, sometimes you put the stress on the second syllable. It's the first syllable that receives the stress. Karim, I hope that I'm not disappointing you. I just want to want you to perfect in your English. And
yeah, I learned.
Okay.
I know.
Alone, you said alone, and sensitivity, and
okay, thank you, doctor. Very thank you.
You're welcome. You said they don't use their eye. I think actually you should say they fail to use eye contact, and that is one of the symptoms. They do not use verbal, or let's say non-verbal communication. And this is one of the clear-cut symptoms. And
yes, exactly.
Yeah, you said speak good, but you should say speak well as an adverb. And
okay, thank you.
For gene, you said gen. It is gene. Pronunciation is gene.
The pronunciation of genetic.
Genetics. As a noun, genetics. As an adjective, genetic.
Okay, thank you, doctor.
You're welcome. All right, I think this is a nice topic, and so let's have a discussion over that. Do you have any further question? Because the lecturer is responsible for any kind of question in response to autism. The person actually who wants to give a lecture here should acquire as much information as possible. That's why I think this class and this activity is on the basis of CBI, that is content-based instruction. So it's not just the matter of learning a second or foreign language. You're responsible for any kind of delivery of information into the framework of English. So do you have any question? Let's ask our connoisseur. It means a person who knows a lot about a particular subject. So let's ask our questions.
Okay, as far as I know, around 1/3 of people with autism have an intellectual disability. I just wanted to know, is it a big problem for them, or is there any way to deal with that?
Mm-hmm.
I answer.
Yes, yes, you're responsible for any question.
The autism have many spectrum, and we have many problems, many range of problems. I say in lecture some autistic persons can write good and some not. Some can solve the complex math operations, some not, and some are good in speaking and writing, some not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, as a matter of fact, there is a spectrum to the variation, of this, or there are degrees to autism. Some people are too autistic, some other are just less autistic, because the adjective form, a person who is inflicted with autism, is called autistic. And yeah, as Karim said, boys tend to just develop autism more than girls. So,
Right.
is
And
there?
can I ask?
Yes.
Okay, sorry that I interrupted
No
you.
problem. Yes.
Is there any special equipment in order to help them to gain their knowledge and do their daily works?
no, nowadays the cure for the autism is medication and training. The training is very expensive, and the medication have serious side effects.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so the doctors don't use them extensively.
Mm-hmm. So the techniques and the methods that are not based on medication are so special, and because of that, they are not cost effective. And so the best solution to this problem is to prevent it. And in order to prevent this neurological disease, it's important to just know the causes of that. You did not speak a lot about the causes of autism. Do you know some of the main causes of autism?
I would say as a man gets older,
Mm-hmm.
the chance increase that he will parent an autistic child.
Mm-hmm.
I would say this.
Yes, this is one of them. Let's say causes. Old parents increase the likelihood of, let's say, bringing autistic children to this world. So,
Another is
particularly late pregnancy. Yes.
genetic factors are very important in causing with autism.
Mm-hmm. Genetic factors. Yeah. And does anybody know other causes of autism?
No, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Neither do I.
Pardon, Sasan?
And neither do I said.
Neither do I. Yeah, air pollution during pregnancy, infection during pregnancy, because I did some research and I had some information because I have a thirst for neurology. But infection during pregnancy, if the mother actually gets some infection from the environment, particularly air pollution, I'm not sure about the fact that whether actually late pregnancy has some influence over increasing the likelihood of autism.
And let me add something. As far as I know, there is a glass which is called Holy from Google company.
Mm-hmm.
That can helps them to communicate with others more simply, and also it suggests to someone who has autism.
Yeah, I have seen some documentary.
Yeah, exactly. It suggests that to, for example, that person some sentences and phrases in order to communicate with others.
Mm-hmm. Great. Yeah, that is that could be so helpful, because autistic
Yeah.
people cannot communicate with others, especially non-verbally. You know,
Yeah,
they
you're
have
correct.
problems pointing to objects, for example. They have to repeat what other people have just say, and this is not really helpful in communication. And
Yeah.
because of that, sometimes they become aggressive, and it's very difficult, particularly more severe or vehement stages of autism. And
Right.
any other point, any other
And about the immune system, I think they have problems in their immune system as well. I mean, their immune systems are weaker in comparison to normal people.
I don't have any information about that, but Karim, do you know about their immune system? Is there any problem?
Yes,
Yes.
yes. In immune system is weaker than normal persons. I see one clip that consider this topic.
Great, I didn't know that. Also, it is interesting to note that autistic people have some special faculties. Did you know that?
No, what do you mean of faculties?
No, I mean
Many.
predispositions, abilities, natural abilities. They can memorize some detailed, let's say, events, for example, happening many years ago, and they have a vivid memory and very fresh memory of those events.
That's great.
Yeah. And there is something wrong with them, you know. They are particularly there are some special neurons in our brains which are called mirror neuron, and those mirror, as its name indicates, has something to do with developing empathy with others, you know, because those neurons act like mirror, showing some reflection. And so if we do not have those neurons, we cannot put ourselves in other people's shoes, so we cannot be empathetic. And because of that, because of this fact, or due to this lack of neurons, autistic people cannot have empathy with others. They cannot put themselves in their shoes. They cannot, and they fail to communicate with others. They have major problems in social interactions, and yeah, this is the basic problem they are facing.
I would say these sentences, the Chinese use acupuncture and relaxation programs for treating the autistic person.
They cannot treat it completely, but they can somehow relieve the pain, or at least just stabilize it, or prevent any worse conditions.